What makes it so frustrating is that your life isn't falling apart. You're a high performer. You train regularly. You maybe have a business or a well-paid job. Maybe even people rely on you. And because of that, you think to yourself that you don't have a problem. But then it happens again. Friday comes and you tell yourself you just have one drink. One turns into two, and all of a sudden you get that nagging feeling in the back of your head that you want to go and get a bag. You say you'll just have a few bumps, but it's never enough once you start. And before you know it, it's 2 a.m. and you're sat there looking for more. Before you know it, Monday morning comes and you've been on it all weekend and you have that feeling of anxiety, guilt, regret, and shame. The most frustrating part isn't even the nights out. It's the morning after when you sat there thinking, how did this happen again? I know better than this, but I keep making the same mistake. You're trying to figure out why this keeps happening. And what makes it worse is that you've probably gone through sober periods, 1, 2, maybe even 6 months. You felt better, you trained regularly, your sleep dialed in, your confidence came back. And you started to think, I've got this now. But if you're honest with yourself, this isn't the first time that you've been here. Historically, once things relax, you think to yourself, I've got this sorted. And that's where standards drop. And before you know it, you slide right back. This creates frustration that most people never talk about. Because you're not failing, but you're not operating anywhere near enough the full potential you could be at. There's that constant feeling that focus, momentum, self-respect are all leaking. Nothing dramatic, but just enough to keep you stagnant enough to stop progressing through life. And here's the part that most high performers get wrong. You assume that this is a willpower issue, a discipline problem, a motivation problem. The real problem? You're relying on motivation instead of structure, and motivation always runs out. My name's Ben, and I've been free from alcohol and cocaine for over 6 years. On the outside, my life looked fine. I lived abroad, I had a well-paid job, I had nice girlfriends, I even had decent pictures on Instagram. But every time I drank, cocaine always followed. My life wasn't spiraling out of control, but it wasn't going anywhere either. And for a high-performing man with big goals, that's a dangerous place to be. Just like you, I tried doing what most people do. I tried to moderate. I set rules. I said I wouldn't drink this weekend. I said I'd be home at a certain time. And the worst bit was, sometimes it worked and I convinced myself that I had it sorted and it wasn't a problem. And this was dangerous because it kept me stuck for years. Eventually, I realized something important. This was a cycle, and cycles don't get broken without structure. I didn't need willpower. I didn't need another promise to myself. I needed a plan in place to remove this decision making altogether. That's when I started building what I teach now. And whether men realize it or not, every high performer goes through these 4 stages. I didn't invent them, I lived them. Stage 1 is wake up. It's not panic and it's not shame. It's just about being brutally honest with yourself and realizing what this is costing you. It's not just about the money or the hangovers. It's the focus and the clarity that it's costing you. Slowly draining away your momentum and confidence. High performers don't need motivation, they need clarity. Stage 2 is cleanup, and this is where most relapses are prevented. Removing predictable traps, changing environments, designing weekends properly, and putting boundaries in place for people. This isn't emotional, it's strategic. Stage 3 is build up, and this is where structure removes cravings. Consistent training, dialed in sleep, better routines. It's about building a social life that doesn't rely on chaos. And at this stage, sobriety stops feeling fragile. You don't feel like you're trying to white knuckle it. It's just something that feels normal. Stage 4 is level up. This is where the identity starts to shift. You stop negotiating. You stop romanticizing about the past. You stop worrying about missing out. And you become someone that alcohol and cocaine simply doesn't fit anymore. That's real freedom. Most men skip straight to stage 4. They rely on identity and discipline, but they don't build a structure that comes before. And that's why they always end up back where they were. But when you build this in the right order, sobriety stops becoming difficult and it becomes inevitable. So if you're watching this now and this resonates, here's something I want to be clear with you. This isn't for everyone. I work best with high performers who are coachable and ready to change. The ones that are self-aware and willing to do this properly. This isn't therapy, this isn't motivation, and this isn't about white-knuckling it forever. It's about building a structure that actually holds up under real-life stress. If you want help doing that, there's a link below to book a free clarity call. This isn't a sales call, this is simply to see what you've tried, where you're at, and what you actually want. And if it's something I can help you with, I'll let you know. But if I can't, at least you can walk away with more clarity than what you had. Either way, you can stop second guessing yourself. And the truth of reality is, you're not broken, but this shouldn't still keep happening. And staying stuck here will cost a lot more than fixing it.